Hello viewers, today for checkout after repair we have a General Electric or the Thompson telephone 5.8 GHz model 25861GE3-B, and we need to check this out again because after the repair I did power it on briefly and it seems to be behaving somewhat erratically. So what we repaired here is the cradle. The cradle was all busted up here at the bottom, and that's been fixed now. The cradle still doesn't always make a good contact. It did that time, now it didn't that time. And there's nothing that we can do about that because I've cleaned the contacts, they're aligning correctly. It's just a cheap telephone, and in some ways it's going to behave like a cheap telephone. Now, the only problem that we had with the handsets was that the headphone jack cover had deteriorated, and so that I was not able to get that off successfully or put it back on. Otherwise, the handsets are both cleaned and the buttons have been cleaned. The torque button, it still does not seem like it's quite as sensitive as it should be. It is possible that that's by design. As you can see, it's really set into the phone compared to the other buttons, and they may have made it so that if your cheek just pushes it in a little bit, it doesn't make contact. You have to kind of put a decent amount of force on it to get it to work. I don't know if the Thompson is clever enough to do that or if it's just wearing out. I tend to think it's probably just wearing out. It may be another case where it's a cheap telephone, and so in some ways it's going to behave like a cheap telephone. The rest of the buttons work just fine, so I don't know, I guess it's just worn out. So let's begin by calling it. It is working. The ringer is working. These both got caller ID. The contrast is pretty poor on the screens, but that again is the cheap telephone aspect. Okay, we had some kind of an extended ringer there, but it's been answered. And let's see, is it working? Test, test, test. Okay, that is working. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. That is working as well. And now before, when I would hang it up, it would just start ringing again. And it was doing that on the mains line. So let's go back over to the mains. We'll make an outside call to test the audio. And there it goes. It's ringing again. The mains is not ringing. Go back to the simulator and it stops. And it seems to behave normally. I'll let it go one more time and I'll stop the ring cycle. That's some heavy rain or whatever it is. Okay, so it doesn't seem to like being on the mains. Now that could be just because of the way the line is. Sometimes I get anomalies in there because I use the magical jack and I have so many phones plugged in over such a distance of wiring. I suspect by here, because we're at the end of the line downstairs here, the voltage is probably a little bit less than what it should be, and that may be the cause of the erratic behavior. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the line from the magic jack over to a traditional, well, what would be today's equivalence of a POTS line, but is modem driven. And let's see if it behaves more normally now. Okay, so we have dial tone. And we'll call something. Oh, we're still on the simulator. Now we have nothing. What did I do wrong? Oh, I see what I did wrong. Okay, take two. Now I'm going to plug it in correctly. Oh, it's even worse. Okay, so it just instantly starts ringing on that line. And that, of course, would be giving it more voltage. So let's go back to my line. And it's doing the same thing. I don't recall it doing that previously, and it's strange that it doesn't do it on the simulator. Not sure what would really be causing that. I mean, we could make the excuse that it's a cheap telephone, but cheap telephones should still ring correctly. I changed the power adapter to a unit-in adapter instead of the testing adapter, and now it seems to be working okay. So it's currently on the mains. Okay, so let's make some testing calls.
And wishing you into the new year, 2021. This is the update for New Year's in the first few days.
Okay, that's working, so now we'll transfer it.
Visits and embracing our COVID-safe protocols. We got through it together, and I'm sure you had many happy experiences.
Okay, we'll turn it off. It's not ringing, so that is working correctly. Now I'll record some testing messages into the testing answering machine.
1. New message and 17. Old messages. Message 1.
This is a test from handset number 1. I'll transfer it over to handset number 2. Okay, this is handset number 2. Testing 1, 2, 3.
End of messages.
Alright, that seemed to work okay. So now we'll check the answering machine.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Goose.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Why did you not record the greeting I wanted to record?
Why did you not record the greeting I wanted to record?
Okay, that seems to be working.
You have no messages.
Why is this not working?
31.
Now it's working.
32. You have no messages. Answer on.
Okay, so now we'll call it and record a testing message.
Why did you not record the greeting I wanted to record?
Okay then. Thanks for letting me know.
You have one new. You have one new message. New message one.
Okay then. Thanks for letting me know.
Monday, 12:32 a.m. End of new messages. You have one message. Message one. Message one. Erase. End of messages.
Okay, so with the correct power adapter, well, not the correct one, but a correct power adapter, seems to work just fine. So this cleaning and repair was successful.